In a year-end interview with the CBC, Edmonton's far left-wing environmentalist mayor Don Iveson said he thinks that the carbon tax will actually create jobs in Edmonton. As the kids say, I can't even. When asked about the carbon tax, the mayor said, and I quote, "I've been an advocate about that for 7-8 years since I did my own research on it," end quote. Okay, so he's a left-winger who likes carbon taxes. It's nothing particularly new, but this is where we go from Edmonton to crazy town. The mayor went on to talk about how big oil companies will cope with the new carbon tax. He said, when they do it, they'll create a whole bunch of jobs in the process, and the innovation that's behind it may be exportable to other jurisdictions. No, Mayor Iveson, oil companies will cope with this tax by laying people off. And sure, some jobs will be created in Edmonton, but they won't be real private sector jobs. They won't be real jobs that exist without an endless river of taxpayer subsidies. These will be government jobs or temporary green construction jobs that need a constant influx of taxpayer cash to keep them going. A normal person would realize that the world demand for fossil fuels is steadily increasing, and that's the made in Alberta technology and innovation we should be exporting across the globe. Mayor Iveson, though, he has no problem wasting taxpayer money to green virtue signal at every possible opportunity he gets, even though his green ideas and investments with taxpayer money have been utter failures. Do you remember when Mayor Iveson invested $9.5 million of Edmonton taxpayers' money into Gray's Recycling? At the time, the mayor touted the dozens of Edmonton jobs his investment would create. That company soon went broke, totally bankrupt, and now Edmonton taxpayers are out all of the money, and they're stuck with owning an abandoned recycling plant and all of the equipment. But even after all that, Mayor Iveson still hasn't clued in that green projects don't actually create sustainable, long-term, unsubsidized jobs, and if they did, companies would be tripping over each other to create these green jobs instead of being forced to do it through taxation and then through subsidies. But you see, there's a deep green selfishness at work in Edmonton and in its mayor that props up these bad NDP policies. How many Alberta jobs have to be killed in other communities so that Edmonton can see a highly subsidized government microboom? How many jobs in Grand Prairie or Cold Lake or Calgary have to disappear because the jobs went to, I don't know, Turtleford, Saskatchewan, or Odessa, Texas, or Williston, North Dakota, where there are no carbon taxes? How many farm and feedlot jobs have to be lost in Strathmore Brooks because all the cattle went to Missoula, Montana, where, again, there is no carbon tax? And what about the increased heating and electricity costs at City of Edmonton facilities? What about the snow plows that run nearly all winter long? They run on diesel, and the city, or rather the city taxpayers, will be paying 5.38 cents per liter in extra taxes for all the diesel burned in the snow clearing equipment. User fees will have to go up, and so will Edmonton property taxes. 200,000 jobs have been lost all across the province, but the NDP hired 50,000 extra public sector workers, mostly in Edmonton. So Edmonton's NDP mayor is happy. Mayor Iveson doesn't care, though, that the money to fund these provincial government subsidized green projects and all the public sector growth was extracted from families who can't afford it in places like Sherwood Park and St. Albert and Leduc and Airdrie. This is how socialists are, though. Someone else can live with the consequences of their terrible ideas. Ralph Klein was right. Edmonton does have too many mosquitoes and too many socialists. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. We've reached the goal on our big plan, so we've stretched it a little. Go to thebigplan.ca to find out how you can help.